They both grew up in Florida land, boating and spearfishing. Now they are friends who are comedians, but they're quite different. Well, Forrest loves his manatees and his dog Arnie. He's a cynical, raspy curmudgeon who's always grumpy. And then there's Dave, loud and positive, obsessed with barbecue. He's got his wife and his 2 sons, and he likes them too. Well, they both left careers, good and stable gigs, to pursue comedy full tilt. Forrest, a marine biologist, and Dave at the dealership. And we're sure they know what they're doing, we're sure they've thought it through, for they are on a quest to bring comedy gold to you. Bring Dave an IPA, don't wish Forrest happy birthday, don't ask them about their Achilles tendons, for they are the Mermen.
We thought you guys would clap there, but no. Okay.
Yeah, that was your cue. Wait, you're taking your jacket off already? I spent so much money on that you wore it for 5 seconds. That was
Let me tell you what fucking
fucking
Dave,
rude.
Dave gets drunk and just buys stupid shit. How much did you pay for these jackets?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I
It's
mean,
like
it was more than my kids' volleyball payment for the month.
that doesn't mean anything. That's a lot, I guess.
It's money I should have spent on my family is the point. I was like, sorry, buddy, you got to play volleyball at the park this month, okay? Forrest and I needed matching jackets that he won't wear in the airport when we travel somewhere together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, on the way here at 5 a.m. at LAX, this dickhead is wearing this jacket with shorts.
Look dope.
Yeah. And he was going up to everyone that had something like a any sort of floral pattern on. He's like, hey, can we be friends? What's up? And just...
Look, I'm an only child. I just have always wanted a brother that would dress up the same with me. And I thought you were that brother, and now I'm starting to doubt it. That's all I'm saying, all right?
If you've never listened to our podcast, I'm just a grumpy you saw my stand-up. It's I'm just like a curmudgeon-y kind of guy. And
I think you're right. It's pretty fucking hot.
Yeah, of course. We've worn these jackets one time. Well, he's worn it a bunch. I don't know if you like jerk off in it or something, but I've worn it one time for a photo shoot and for 10 seconds to walk on stage. And here's another thing. That song you heard, how much did you pay for that?
Like $300. And I didn't even remember I bought it. It just like showed up in my inbox, and I was like, this is dope. Oh, wait, I think I fucking ordered this. Like,
He paid so many money for that in the jacket.
it's, you know what it is? I was up late. We had just had a meeting about like needing a theme song because we're going to launch the podcast. And I was up late watching TV and drinking a bottle of wine. And the Instagram algorithms were like, looking for something new for your loved one? Like, buy your wife a love song or whatever. And I'm like, I'm getting one for Forrest. And I put in, I don't remember, I put in all this like random shit, and that's what it spit out. And my favorite thing is that somewhere it said that you're an angry curmudgeon, and I don't think I told them that.
Just got to Google me. It comes up, yeah.
When you put that someone loves
I'm not
manatees and lives with their dog, I guess they just take assumptions.
Jeez, okay. We are best friends, I guess. If you haven't listened to our podcast ever before, it's called the Mermen Podcast. Please listen to it after tonight. You'll be on it. This is live.
Yeah.
We're going to release this on Monday.
First ever live recording of the Mermen. We're a year in. We've been doing it for a year, and we wanted to do something special. And
we got 15 listeners, so it's going pretty good. No, we're doing good. And we're doing a tour right now. We're in Key West, and we're here. Thank you guys for coming out tonight so much. And you look like you weren't ready for a podcast, sir. Do you know what a podcast is? Okay, cool. All right. So
he's here with a business conference and thought they were having a meeting tonight, and he's just like, I'm in the front row. I can't leave now.
Let's see. He's here for the cult.
Really? Every show since this place opened?
Yeah, I know you. I see
which
you
was
every
like
time
12 years ago. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
well,
I see you every time.
thank you for your patronage.
I don't know your name. I should probably know you. What's your name, sir? Sandy. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, Sandy. All right. No one cares. I thought they were gonna clap for you, Sandy, but no. He heard the first. He heard the first thing. No, that's insincere. He doesn't want it. All right, so we start each show by blowing these conch shells. Another thing I fucking hate. Anything that you see that is like fun, I'm not into, and this fucking guy likes. He's like,
dream.
let's get jackets and make a song while blowing the conch shells. I'm like, can we just talk? Like, he's like, no, man. And all this guy does, I don't think he's done any drugs ever. I know you haven't done any, like maybe he smoked weed once, and that's it.
Basically.
Yeah. He just drinks beer, and somehow beer gives him energy. He's the only person I've ever seen that's like, I'm tired. He drinks an IPA. He's like, I'm ready to go.
Woo!
We were in Key
It's
West.
like Popeye spinach.
Yeah. We're in Key West the last 3 nights. And last night, I'm with Louise, our podcast producer, is in the back. Give him a round of applause. Louise Castillo. And we're like, we gotta leave. We gotta drive up to Miami tomorrow. And he's in the corner with some people you knew that were all clearly on coke, except for Dave. All coke heads, and Dave just on IPAs. And didn't you say you like drank and then they like tapped out, right?
Yeah.
He beat coke heads on beer. That's like impossible.
I was the last one out in Key West last night.
Yeah, and he's just like, IPAs. You're like, what the fuck are you made out of? It's weird. You're a weird person, man. But I do love you. You're not my best friend.
Buddy.
I don't know where you're coming up with that shit. But
I have like 27 best friends, and
okay, that makes sense. Do you want to blow these shells?
17 of them are here tonight. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
We have shells at home, like in our studio, which is Louise's bedroom. And that we usually blow them, but we didn't have them on tour. And then Mike, but give it up for Mike, the Comedy Inn. He told us we had to buy them. I'm recording this, Mike, because you said buy 2 and I'll buy one of them. So it's on. It's recorded now, so it's legit. You're a lawyer, you know how it works. So we bought these. I don't know if that one works well, but we're gonna.
These are much harder to blow than the ones that we have back home.
All right, let's go. Let's give it a go. All right.
This is sad. This is like a fucking dying conch is what this is.
No, do that one.
Try that one?
Blow that one. You're better at it than me.
Happy hour.
I'll take a drink. No.
It's kind of sexy, right?
All right.
What a
First quarter.
Hey.
All right. That was our first. It's the first quarter. I don't know if you recognize that voice. That is Michael Biamonte of the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
He recorded all of our assets, as we call them. We do like our podcast in 4 quarters, and he recorded all of our names. And Luis, play your name. This is how Michael Biamonte recorded it.
Luis Castillo.
If you've ever been to a Heat game,
He's Mexican. His name's not Luis, by the way. It's Luis.
but call him Lewis if you see him after.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start.
Yeah.
You grew up right in this area, right?
I grew up in this area. I grew up a couple blocks right over there on E Lake, and
Yeah, E-Lake. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I had 2 jet skis growing up, and it was worth all the skin cancer I'm dealing with now.
Wow. Super relatable.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to do jokes about it, honestly, and it's just obvious that people hate me when I bring it up.
I grew up with 2 jet skis.
Yeah.
We had a plane that lands in the water and a helicopter.
Well, yeah,
You guys know how it is.
It was only
It's
an
tough.
ultralight, though. I mean, it wasn't a big plane.
E-Lake.
Yeah.
What did E stand for?
It's literally shaped like an E.
Creative. Right.
It's actually the legal name of it. I think is like Lennar Lake or something like that.
Yeah.
Lake Lennar. All right.
Are you guys
Sorry,
E-Lake
the
residents?
homeowner, the home association
Wait,
president is here.
There's
It's
E-Lake
like-
residents here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's we did. That was the happiest I've ever seen my father. My father loves fireworks. He doesn't get super fired up about a lot of stuff. My dad fucking loves fireworks, right? Like he ran a business here in town and would have this illegal fucking fireworks guy pull up and he'd be like, go behind the dealership. And he'd go back there and he'd buy a couple grand worth of fireworks. And so when the year 2000 came around, my dad's like, hey, don't tell your mother. you want to know how much money I spent on fireworks? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I don't even care about going to college anymore. This is going to be fucking awesome, right? So we bought a dock. Was you saying that we bought your dock? Is that what you're saying?
No, he called me up and he said, I think it was your mother's 50th birthday. This is probably...
Oh, yeah, that was a different party. That was all right. They threw a lot of parties. Yeah. So we there was this one house on the lake that had this old dock. It looked like they never used it. My dad went and knocked on their door and was like, hey, I'll give you $100 for that old dock out there. And the guy was like, yeah, great. I've been wanting someone to pull that thing the right way. So he made me swim it across the lake. And we anchored it like just off of our property.
Why didn't you use one of your jet skis? The 25 jet skis that you had, you could have used.
I was busy being fucking awesome on those. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad set up all these fucking fireworks. Like every square inch of that floating dock was filled with a pallet of just fireworks. And so in the year 2000, we're having a party, and my dad is sitting Indian style in dockers in the backyard, and he had wired it all up with a fucking control box. And I swear to God, I've never seen him look happier in his life. Like, not my high school graduation, not when I had his grandkids. He was just like, he's just sitting there like, I can't wait to push these fucking buttons, right? And everyone counted down, 3, 2, 1, and he just went, ka-choo, 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 ka-choo. And that dock caught fire immediately. And it was just a race to see if they'd all go off before the fucking thing sank. And it was, I gotta give it to him. It was fucking dope.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's $100 well spent, though.
Yeah.
That's good. So right here, it's only a couple blocks away, right? Or...
Yeah, it's like right there. I used to walk over here to Smoothie King, and then I used to stumble home from Hole in the Wall. Like, yeah.
Any famous residents near?
I used to, when I was like in my early 20s and would go out to all the like Hoolies and Corbett stuff. I used to see OJ Simpson all the time. OJ does this. No, he's in Vegas now, right?
Well, are you guys cheering for OJ Simpson or what?
Oh, Krista, we saw him at
Wait. You know OJ Simpson?
Monty's. So you're gonna love this. So her and our friend Joe saw him at Monty's, and they're calling me like, "You got to get here quick. OJ's here, right?" And so as I show up, I see them, and they're taking a photograph with him. And first of all, the photo is hilarious because they're all wearing like Cuba Vera shirts, like kind of like that. So they look like a family at like Easter fucking service or something, right? And so I grabbed what the fuck, a butter knife off the table, and I was sprinting. I wanted to be in the background, like like that, whatever. And I didn't get there in time. And I always see how awesome their fucking photo is, and I was like, man, I would be immortalized if I did that.
Okay. I don't want to one up you, but I'm gonna one up you right now on this story on OJ Simpson. Okay. So me and Dave started here as comedians in South Florida, and the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm improvs. It's a little bit different now, but those were the 3 improvs that we worked a lot when we started. We started hosting there, and we'd feature, and all of our other friends that like we started with were like on that same path too. And okay, so I'm working the West Palm Beach Improv one night, and my friend Oni Perez, that we started with, very funny comic, is working the Miami Improv, and he's with Tommy Davidson. I don't even remember who my headliner is.
Speaking of cocaine, I've worked with Tommy Davidson before.
I don't know if you know Tommy Davidson. He was like in Pet, the Ace Ventura's on Living Color.
Yeah.
Super funny guy, but so he's working with him. Because of this story, I couldn't even tell you who I was working with in West Palm. But Oni calls me. He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "We're about to wrap up here in West Palm." And it's at City Walk in West Palm, and this was in Mayfair and Coconut Grove. He goes, "You got to get down." Same shit. You got to get down right away. OJ Simpson's here. He's going to go on stage with Tommy Davidson. I'm like, all right, I got to see that shit. And I couldn't wrap up quick enough. He's going to go
on stage with Tommy Davidson.
I don't know what's going to happen, but what the fuck? This is after he murdered someone, by the way. I don't know. Allegedly. I don't know. Did he get, whatever. He did. Whatever. Hey guys, it's 2 people? Whatever. All right,
it's yours truly.
A lot of OJ apologists here. All right, cool. I could not. That drive is about an hour, 15 an hour. I made that shit in about 40 minutes. I was like, I was speeding. I was confident if somebody pulled me over, I'd be like, I'm gonna go see OJ going on stage with fucking Tommy Davidson. Be like,
the cop's like, let's go. I'll lead you.
Yeah. I fucking haul ass. I just throw it on the side of the curb. I fucking run in. I see Oni, I'm like, and I can hear Tommy Davidson still on stage. I'm like, did OJ go on you? He's like, no. He goes, but come here. And he walks me to the green room. And if you've never been to that old Miami Improv, it looked like a brownstone, like in Brooklyn or something. And you walked out of the door of the green room and we're on stage. Behind that door is where all the comics were. And there's like couches and chairs. He cracks the door open. I'm like, what the fuck? He cracks it open. And OJ is passed out. Just like snoring in a chair. In a fucking chair. And there's a blonde woman. Oh, that's weird. Putting on lip gloss, and she's that. And I'm like, who the fuck's that? He's like, I don't know. She looks like Nicole Brown Simpson. Yeah, that's what a shocker. All right, cool. And I go, is he going on stage? He goes, I don't know. But so I go out into the audience, and I sit there and I wait. And Tommy Davidson gets to his closer. And his closer at the time was a joke that he would do where he would say, hey, I know this is Miami. You guys, I love watching the Spanish news, because when I watch the Spanish news, they say everything in Spanish. And I don't know what the fuck's going on, but they throw all these English words in there. And they'll be like, blah, 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 Coca-Cola, blah, 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 Miami Mar. Like, that was his, I'm not doing the joke justice, but that was the joke, just, And he does the joke, and then he goes, blah, 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 blah. He goes, O.J. Simpson, and O.J. Simpson walks out of that door with a fucking knife and is pretending to stab Tommy Davidson. And that's what was happening in the crowd. Half the crowd was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Some of them are laughing because they're afraid they might get stabbed. I don't know. Yeah, it's great.
Hey, just laugh. Don't make eye contact.
And I'm in the back with Oni, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what? I don't even, is this real? Like, and he's like, and then he just goes, hey, everybody. Like it was a fucking sitcom or some shit. Closes the door again, and we're like, that was fucking incredible and fucked up at the same time.
Man, were cell phone cameras around back then?
No, it was like right at the precipice of where everything would be filmed. And it just, the next day there was a picture, I think it was in the Herald, there was a picture in the newspaper, and it was just like, O.J. Simpson's at the Improv. They didn't have the knife or any of that shit. It was just the thing. And then the owner called me like, what the fuck happened last night? I'm like, yeah, it was pretty bad.
We know one of our friends is here, Seth, and he was...
he's right there.
Oh, there you go. Well, I wasn't going to point him out in case you didn't want me sharing this. I was using only first names and pointing to the back of the room because I don't know.
All right. Yeah, he's back there, I think.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
It's fucking... OJ's out of jail, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to... We played.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We had to drive from Palmetto High School over to Miami-Dade College for water polo practice.
Go Panthers!
And Seth's.
I was kidding.
Class of '96.
All right, shut up.
Seth's carpool would be late for practice like every day. We're like, where the fuck have you guys been? Every single day. You're like, oh, we had a toilet paper at O.J. Simpson's house. Like 3 times a week, they would just randomly fucking egg his house.
Well, it's statute of limitations.
Hey,
nothing can happen. That was pre-murder too, right? Just did it for fun. Right.
Kids like danger. He bought a car from us. When he first moved to Miami, he came in and he bought a first generation Escalade, which had a first generation OnStar. And after a week, he brought it back and he was like, "Hey, someone told me what OnStar is," and he goes, "I can't keep this car." This is a true story. And we're like, well, what do you mean? He didn't want a car that had like tracking in it, right? And then just so you know, car dealerships never take cars back. We were like, cool, OJ, no problem.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Hey, I played foosball with him at Corbett's one time. He was with a blonde woman then, too, by the way. Yeah, so.
All right, I think that's enough OJ talk.
All right. I would hang out with him tomorrow. I mean...
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why?
I don't know. I like stories.
Hey, OJ, you want a Mermen jacket?
I bet OJ would wear the Mermen jacket with me.
He can have mine. He can fucking have mine.
I could turn Sean back into Juice.
Yeah.
Dave Williamson.
Wait, that was a bad one?
Yeah, how's there not been more of those already?
Yeah.
We have that, and then there's one when you do something good.
You know, when you say a good joke, then it goes...
Dave Williamson.
Right, that's it.
Nice.
Mike Biamonte. So the first time I met Mike, my buddy Joe Swisher was the mascot for the Miami Heat for a few years. And the first time I met Michael Biamonte, I think it was 2K, the big NBA thing that came out like the year 2000, right? And everyone was excited. Joe goes out and blows his like whole paycheck on like a 60-inch TV, which was like a big deal back then. It was like expensive. And so they get it and they have it set up. And me, Joe, and then Mike Biamonte's there. And I'm like, nice to meet you, man. And we're all drinking whiskey. And as we're playing 2K1, he was announcing the game. And it was fucking awesome, right? But he was getting drunker, and the more he's drinking, he's just like, oh, big miss by Mr. Fuckface over here. Like, you know, He was just using cuss words. It was great. I'm like, you're supposed to be like the positive guy in the arena. And he's just like, hey, fucking moron from downtown.
Wow, you're really using this as an opportunity to throw everyone under the bus. That's cool.
Just,
First Seth, now Michael Biamonte.
I thought
Who's
that was
next?
a positive story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's that disabled guy in the fucking parking lot if you want to go
Oh,
fucking...
remember that guy who didn't have a nose who used to ask for change over on 136th? Right?
All right, let's move on.
That's why I didn't do cocaine. That guy saved a lot of families. It took one time for me to go, what the and my mom's like, don't do drugs. And I'm like, I never will. I never will. That was it. That's when I started honing my beer drinking powers.
All right, well,
Hey,
that's
can I have a beer? Can I have an IPA?
Williamson.
There he is.
Oh, wait, that's white power. I can't do that. Wait, is that 3? That's it.
All right, let's move on.
All right. What quarter are we on?
Second quarter.
Hey.
Luis is new at this.
Luis is good. Luis has never been to Florida. Luis has been all over the world. Like he's traveled like 300 times.
I think he's been to Mexico, and that's it.
I know. I was saying he's only been to Mexico.
Oh,
though.
okay.
So showing him around Key West was hilarious. We definitely looked like two gay dads that were showing their new adopted son.
Look
And
at
he's
our
like,
Mexican
his
child.
eyes were like marveled.
Look, go out, experience life. Yeah. This is cafecito.
This is Luis's move. Dude. Luis's move. I love it. Everywhere we go to eat or have a drink or whatever, I tell him what the fuck. I'm like, we're from here. We're the experts. You already have the inside
Order
knowledge.
this. Order this. Drink. Order this food.
He's already done the research online, by the way. He goes online and sees what he should get, and then we tell him what he should get, and then he goes to the bartender. He goes, first time to Florida.
Yeah. Like they give a fuck. Oh, wow.
like,
Let me straighten up my tie here.
Rookie Sunshine Stater here. What would you recommend if I can only have one thing on your menu? And they're like, I don't give a fuck. Just pick something. Like,
Yeah.
and then
cheeseburger.
whatever they tell him is always exactly what we fucking told him. Just listen to us, Louis.
Anyways, we love you, Luis.
Sorry, you're the best.
You're never getting a jacket, though.
Thank you for letting us be your gay adopted
All right,
dads.
so second quarter,
Second quarter, what's our topic?
you can introduce our guest.
Oh! Very excited to invite one of our friends up to the stage. You might know him.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
I hear him laughing.
Okay.
No, yeah. You might know him as the director of some of the best documentaries out there. Definitely anyone that has to do with Miami, like Cocaine Cowboys, and very popular podcast called #BecauseMiami. Give it up for our buddy Billy Corben, everybody!
Hey. Billy Corben. Do you need a drink, Billy?
You got it?
All right.
There you go.
Thanks for being here. You said
Yeah.
cocaine, so I was like, let's bring Billy up.
Hey, good segue. Is that weird being like known as the cocaine guy expert?
When I eat donuts, powdered donuts, and I don't do drugs. I get calls. I make like almost entirely drug documentaries, and all my friends from high school are like, "You never did any drugs. You've
never done
You're
any
such
drugs?
a liar." No, I've never done any drugs.
Ah.
Yeah, I smoked pot when I was in like 2017 for the first time.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I said to my girlfriend, "I'm like, this will never catch on." I'm like, "This is not." I just didn't like to. I like to drink. That's my vice.
Hell
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
But I'm a little nervous.
Why?
Tonight. I feel like I've never been in a room in Miami with this many white people before, actually.
Hey.
It's so
Palmetto
weird.
Bay.
They all secretly live in the suburbs.
But I want to say, because we Dave and I did like the podcast exchange program. This is a thing where like you go on one person's podcast and the other. Then you gave me meat rub and invited me to a motel.
I did,
So-
yeah.
and then I was like, how could I resist that? But I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you, like, so I know these
Meet
guys.
me in room 140.
I know these guys. I know these guys from like gigging at like those, I have like Forrest like first stand-up shirt that I bought
babies.
outside the Hard Rock.
Eat babies.
But like now these guys are hot shit. It's so fucking cool. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, we're at the quality.
I love it.
Let's settle down. We're not.
I love it. And this,
We love
and
you, Mike.
Dave,
What's up?
Go ahead and cut that soundbite. All
I
right,
love-
I'll play that over. These guys are
and
hot shit.
I love Dave. Also, he's a nice guy. He's a funny guy. But also, you look like every 1980s Florida dad.
Yeah.
Like that's why like you're so close. This would be a Cougaran actually.
Yeah.
To be, but you're
Let
like
me tell you, this is the compromise with my wife because I love Hawaiian shirts, and I found out during the pandemic that I could even grow a mustache. I had no fucking clue. And I was doing, when the theaters were just starting to open up post-pandemic, I got a really bad black eye, like a really bad one. I had to have like emergency eye surgery and shit. And so I was like, I can't just go on.
What happened?
He was hanging with OJ. If I had to guess.
I was swimming laps at water polo practice, and the kids moved the water polo goal, and I fucking swam straight into the.
It's the whitest shit I've ever heard in my life, dude.
Yeah. And then the goggles went into my fucking skull and popped my LASIK scars out, and it was fucking.
He just said water polo and LASIK, and you're supposed to be like, oh, all right, it's fine, all right. That no one that grew up poor says that.
I'm in the doctor's office, like, can I still go on tour tomorrow? And they're like, eee.
I lost my gold bullions that were in my pocket too.
Went to the doctor on his jet ski. Went to the doctor.
I jet skied over to the fucking urgent care.
Yeah.
But you look like Jimmy Buffett PI. Like you should be solving parrot murders in the Conch Republic. That's what you look like.
You've never said anything sweeter to me. But that was the vibe. So I was like, all right, we were coming to do shows in Florida. Like, we were in, like, St. Pete and Tampa, and I don't know where else we were. And I go, I'm just going to lean into the black eye. I'm going to go Florida as fuck. And my hair was kind of shaggy from the pandemic. I shaved all my scruff and just went straight mustache. I had the black eye. And I have a gold-plated shark tooth necklace that I wore my whole childhood and young adulthood.
All right,
and I go, I'm bringing back the gold-plated shark tooth necklace, and I'm wearing my fucking Hawaiian shirts. And let me tell you something, Billy. I got on stage that weekend, and I never felt more comfortable in my life. I was like, this is who I was born to be. I was just 2 decades too late. And, you know, some guys just have stepdad energy. That's it.
Can I tell you my OJ story? I feel like we're doing OJ story.
Yeah. People love it.
My ex-girlfriend worked at the Tony Roma's in Kendall on Kendall Drive.
Man.
What is it, like Old Town now?
Fuck
It's like that old
I would
standalone.
murder an onion loaf right now.
That like creepy standalone building. You know, the Tony Roma's on Kendall Drive, and so OJ would come in all the time.
Yeah.
And flirt with the white blonde hostess.
Yeah. Crazy.
He has a type. So before they would seat him, they would go around and clear all the knives off the table.
No.
Swear to God. And then OJ would come, and he would invariably order like a
brought my
steak.
own.
Like, who orders a steak at Tony Roma's? You get ribs, like. So he orders a steak, and then he's always like, "Miss, excuse me, miss."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Can I get a knife?" "Yes, sir. We'll be right with you." And they would wait as long as they possibly could to deliver the knife to the table.
Yeah, there's a spoon.
They bring him a plastic butter knife.
Can you cut it with that? It's a spork. You just gotta get it in there. OJ, look, this is why it's fun to live in Miami, right?
Oh.
You don't get. But who do you see in Iowa? I don't know who killed people in Iowa. I can't think. Lots of people. Well, Jesus, settle down, sir. Are you from Iowa? Okay, this is very ominous the way you're saying this.
There's not much to do there. Is Iowa? I mean, is murder a hobby in Iowa? Like. There's corn.
No, this guy's definitely buried people in cornfields in Iowa, for sure.
Where the corn grows tallest.
Well, in the lake behind Dave's old house, I would think.
E-Lake.
It's filled with people who just did not want to finish out their Williamson Cadillac leases. That lake. That lake.
Easy. It's an upstanding family business.
It's an Escalade artificial reef back there. Meanwhile, this is like the first, the only motel.
So glad my parents are coming tomorrow night.
Hold on a second. Billy Corben.
Williamson Cadillac murders people.
This has to be the only motel built in Miami in the 1970s that is a front for a comedy club. Like, what a weird fucking. Like, we're...
Mike, are you okay?
What, $40 open bar? That math's not adding up. All right. Yeah, this is...
don't check the dryers in the laundry room over here.
Somehow the vending machines make $500,000 a year. Oh, sell a lot of sodas by the pool. I don't know what you're talking about.
Their accountants definitely give hand jobs at the end. I'm sure of that. That's what we call a callback in this. And then I realized it's not on the podcast, so nobody listening knows what I'm talking about. Oh, shit.
I don't
Billy
know.
Corben.
People laughed.
That's a sad.
What was I don't remember the fuck I was saying.
I don't know. I don't know. Billy was busy besmirching all my family businesses. So I don't think we ever murdered anybody, but
You don't think?
You know,
Do you know who did? The Kendall Toyota guy, for sure.
For real?
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
I assume so. I mean, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
what?
Okay, all right.
Wait,
So
can I-
just 1 second.
Yeah.
There's people that are gonna listen to this podcast on Monday that don't know who the fuck the Kendall Toyota guy
Hey,
is.
they're still gonna laugh at it.
I know, but you should if you explain who what was his name?
Kenny Rogers. He looked like
was
Kenny
he looked
Rogers.
like
Kendall
Kenny
Toyota
Rogers.
Roasters.
Yeah.
is where-
And he had a late night talk show.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Kendall Toyota
A
show.
guy owned a car dealership, and
Yes.
at like 11:30 on a Friday or some shit, he'd have a talk show.
Yeah. Let me tell you, fucking genius move that I wish we did. Like, he was like, I'm gonna spend money on advertising space anyways. Instead of doing 30-second commercials all day long, why don't I just pay for 30 minutes at midnight and I'll host my own show? And so that's what that guy did. And he'd have Stephen Bauer on every other episode, right?
Because the guest wouldn't show.
Yeah.
It's Miami.
He'd book really good guests, and then the guest wouldn't show, and he'd go, Stephen Bauer, you want to keep your demo? I need you to come in as an emergency fucking guest again. And young Dave Williamson, growing up in the car business, would stay up late and watch this and be like, I want to be that guy one day. I want Williamson Cadillac late night. Like, you know?
You think that sold him cars? I always looked at that like that. This is a crazy person. I would never, ever go buy a Toyota from this guy. Hey, I saw your talk show. Good shit, man.
Well,
it was a musical guest. That was your daughter. Yeah, she's great. A lot of talent. Anyways, put me in a Corolla tomorrow.
he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his time. There was actually a dealership outside Vegas that got really famous
makes
because
sense, though.
they were doing kind of the same thing, but they went like, instead of doing a traditional talk show, they just got fucking nuts. Like they would, all the car dealership guys or the sales guys would dress up as different characters, and like they didn't make sense. It was just like Blue Genie, and it was like an Indian guy who would put on blue fucking makeup, and then like they made themselves like internet famous in the early days of YouTube, and then people couldn't wait to go in and be like, I want to buy my pickup truck from the fucking Blue Genie, you know? And every time they sold a car, they'd hit a big ass fucking gong, and then everyone was like, I got the gong on their YouTube channel, and
That
I'm like,
doesn't
it's
even
fucking
make
genius.
sense. A genie, and I got like.
Yeah.
They're just like culturally appropriating everything. That's
Yeah.
a Blue Genie's
No,
not
oh,
even
it was
fucking real.
super
but
league culture, yeah.
Yeah, and then they give you a fucking carpet and shit.
My favorite job I ever had at the dealership, because I worked at the dealership my whole life, and even when I was working there full time as an adult, like I rotated different departments so I could learn the whole business, because my parents paid for me to get a business degree, and so I was supposed to do that with my life. But I decided to tell jokes about, you know, dumb shit with you for a living instead. But I worked one summer. We had a Saturn dealership, and Saturns were really easy to break into at one point. Like you could literally just get like some like kitchen scissors and pop them in and start the car. So it was this like gang initiation where they would steal Saturns and they would go on joyrides, and then they would dump them, and they would find them and they would tow them into the dealership. And I was like 14 years old, and my job was to clean out all the shit that was obviously from the gang members and put them in a box. And then I learned how to fix all the locks, and I just fixed locks in the inside and outside the car for the whole fucking summer.
You were the Saturn gang division? That's
Dude.
where you work?
I was 14 years old with a summer job, and I had so many brass knuckles, porn bags, bullet casings, switchblade knives. I was like, this is the best fucking job ever, right? Like,
Oh my God, you should have kept all that. eBay, bro. You didn't fucking know.
I probably do have it in a box somewhere.
No. All right. Let's move on to the next quarter. No. Stick
Third
around.
quarter.
Stick around for another one, Billy.
Yeah. We're very loosey-goosey here, Billy.
Yeah, that's very formal, Billy. I don't know if you
yeah.
noticed. We blew into conch shells at the beginning
Yeah.
of this.
You didn't even get a jacket.
Oh, you know what I want to talk about? Okay, so we live in California. My neighbor, so I stay in a house on that's on the same property as another house, their house, and the owner, the guy that I rent from, he comes like banging on my door there at night, and he just has a can of Raid, and he goes, I just saw the biggest fucking roach I've ever seen in my life. Take this and spray your drains. I didn't even know that's not even they don't know how to fucking deal with roaches, I guess. Spray your drains and anything. I said, no, I'm good. And he goes, it was this big. And I go, nah, dude, I'm from Florida. That's That's our roaches. And he goes, what? I go,
That's an ant in Florida.
yeah. Then he goes, and it can fly. I'm like, yeah, no, got it, dude.
Yeah.
We have like an entire highway named for that roach.
Yeah.
Right here, really.
And he was just freaking out. I'm like, I got a dog, and I'm not gonna spray any poison, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next day, in my kitchen, there's 2 dead roaches upside down in the kitchen that I guess he killed. I don't know. And then I just was trying. You know what? I was wondering. Have you guys ever wondered why a roach dies upside down? It's like a cartoon almost, right? They're like, oh, we're dead. And you're
It's like
come
he's
on,
faking dead. Oh,
yeah.
you got me.
It's not fucking real at all what you're doing. So of course I Googled it and I fucking went down a dead roach rabbit hole. And then I felt bad for them because what happens is they're top heavy. All their shit's on the top. They got those skinny legs. And when if they start to die or they get poisoned, they get spasm and they flip upside down and they can't get back up. And then they just sit there and starve and die of thirst.
Oh my God.
And, I still don't feel bad for it.
I feel like that's how Dave's gonna find you, Forrest. I feel
Forrest Shaw.
Okay, look, guys.
That's how Forrest has found me the past couple mornings. Just fucking
IPAs.
just snoring.
I'm not really top heavy though. I'm like middle. I don't even know what the fuck would happen if. I'm very like weeble wobble kind of thing. Like, I feel like if I died, you could punch me and I would just come back up. Sort of like. I don't know. We'll have to experiment with that. I'll have to.
I definitely think one of the biggest differences between living in Florida and California is like the bugs and the shit like that. Like
Taxes.
Like everyone like that, you're saying like that guy was like scared because he saw one roach.
By the way, he's like a 6'7", 290. His dad played in the NBA. He's like that size.
And then he sees a bug. Yeah.
I was like,
No,
what a fucking pussy.
here everybody knew a kid in your class who missed a week of school because a roach fucking crawled in his ear and laid eggs. And you're just like, man, yeah.
Yeah, just standard. Yeah, you get 2 days off for that. Eggs in the ear, 2 days off. No problem. Get back in there.
The other thing, too, is down here, just because there's, like, bodies of water and just, like, vegetation and whatever, like, you know, we get, like, rats and mice and stuff down here or whatever. And, like, so every now and then, like, I think twice in our house, it's just bound to happen eventually. You get, like, a mouse in your house and you put the traps down and you catch it. And I was like, my wife's like, oh my God, we have a mouse in our house and da-da-da. And I was like, rich people have mice in their house in Florida. It's like, it's part of having 2 jet skis living on a lake. That's where fucking mice like to be. Sorry, this isn't relatable, obviously. Everyone's looking at me like, we never had a fucking mouse in our house.
I found a crab
My dad shoots
in
him
my
with a
toilet.
fucking Roman candle.
A crab, like this,
Yeah.
in my toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad diet you got there.
You had a good night that night, huh? You're just like...
For dinner, yeah, it was in the toilet. It crawled a crab.
You're supposed to chew those, Billy. You had a good night at Joe's that night, huh?
It sounds more like Captain's Tavern, but I hear you.
I shit out a whole crab. Captain's Tavern. I love these fucking nostalgic references, dude.
Local. We're doing like local, like Southwest.
So you've done a lot of documentaries specifically on Miami, South Florida and Miami stuff. What's the South Florida documentary you would love to make? Like, don't think business wise. Don't be like, oh, this would sell or this is like a story that needs to be like some you would just. It would be fun for you to make.
It's a good question.
Bath salts. Yeah. Bath salts, whatever the
No, I
cocaine
had for
cowboys
lunch.
equivalent is.
Thank you. No, I think honestly, I would love to do a big 3 story. We've done a lot of sports docs. ESPN 30 for 30s, the U Part 2 broke. And I think I would want to do because I think sports docs are kind of dead. I think after that another OJ, but then after that OJ 30 for 30, which was like a fucking masterpiece.
OJ killed something else.
It was like a masterpiece.
That was a good joke.
It was kind of done that doc. And do we have a good joke? Yeah, it was.
Nah, it's over.
He's on fucking
late on the
phone
carts.
right now,
We're late on the carts. Yeah. I think like the future, like sports docs are kind of done, but like business,
Messi?
sports business docs. I would love to do a big 3 doc, but entirely about like the front office story, like the agents, Pat Riley, Harrison, like the bit, like how did they get those 3 guys? And it wouldn't even be about basketball. It would end with the 3 of them kind of coming out at the arena together. But like that's it. Just like the
what about like the
business
Messi
mechanics.
phenomenon now? Like that's the.
No, I listen. Is there any more appropriate town for a guy named Messi to come to than
He's got rats in his house.
Than Inter Fort Lauderdale?
Enter
But,
Fort Lauderdale.
yeah,
Is it in Fort
well,
Lauderdale? I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's where they play.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound good at all. No one wants that shit.
So
Enter Fort Lauderdale.
I've always felt this way about
NFL.
the big three, and tell me if this is fair. Like you're really involved in politics now, and like you're opinionated about politics. I feel like my whole life growing up, there was this image of Miami where like everyone was like, Miami's the coolest fucking place. You're so lucky you live in Miami. Like empty. But wait, hear me out. So like, but this was like an era, like up till like the mid '90s. Like MTV was always here doing Spring Break or doing the MTV Awards. It was like the coolest. I went away to college at Auburn. Everyone's like, why would you ever leave Miami? And I'm like, I don't know. I wanted to experience something different, whatever. And then I remember it being that way. There was this positive worldly viewpoint of Miami until around that Big Three era when LeBron came down here. It was like the rest of the world got fucking jealous. And it's almost like how politics now, people's opinions are mostly skewed just by what the news is telling them. And I felt like a lot of the news, sports news, was telling people, oh, that's fucked up. He went there. Oh, Miami's fans suck. They don't show up on time for like games, which is true. And they don't deserve them. And they were getting such negative, stuff that all of a sudden I'd go somewhere and people were like, oh, you're from Miami? That place fucking sucks. Like, people don't even... I just think that literally the news media affected the world's view of Miami because of that announcement.
I feel like Miami has always been a place that people outside of it love to hate, and all of us who live here hate to love it.
Yeah.
Like there's that weird kind of relationship with it. But I think that there was like the LeBron and what they call it, LeBronomics of like him coming here was like earth shattering. Like it really like helped to build like that area downtown. People started moving to those otherwise empty condos. It was pretty exciting. But like the Messi thing feels a little bit different. It feels like tectonic. It feels like international in a way that even LeBron didn't. Which I think is like, I think that's pretty cool. I don't know that he'll ever get to play in Miami.
So are we not talking about cockroaches anymore?
Yeah, sorry.
Forrest did research on cockroaches.
Talk about roaches.
It's the first time I've ever seen him print something out and bring it to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I saw him like, let's talk about LeBron.
I had a whole thing, and all of a sudden it became fucking Sports Center up here. I was like, yeah, roaches. I thought we were going to do some fun shit about, that, some other insects.
All right, put
maybe
up Forrest's
termites.
PowerPoint presentation on...
Yeah, you'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what. Of all cities, even with that going on, Miami was definitely the one city who was like, hey, you guys could hate us because this Big Three thing, but guess what? This is going to be fucking fun, right? Like, let's go.
But like, it's that
thought we'd win a few more championships.
It's that saying I'm very fond of, which is that L.A. is where you go when you want to be somebody. New York is where you go when you are somebody. And Miami is where you go when you want to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And so it affords that opportunity for reinvention and to start anew.
All right.
Well,
cockroaches.
No, we're done with roaches. I'm not fucking bringing back roaches. Fuck you.
Trying to be a good teammate and bring
I
it
was
back.
super excited about the roach segment. We did all the OJ stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do okay. No, I think we're gonna go to the fourth quarter. I think we're gonna say bye to Billy right now. And thank you for coming out, Billy.
Billy
you, guys.
Corben,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Hey,
Thank
check
you so
out his
much.
podcast. #BecauseMiami. All right.
Thank you, Billy.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. That's our last quarter, everybody. We're going to bring up another friend of ours for the fourth quarter. She's going to be on our shows tomorrow night and at the Dania Improv. We'll be there Sunday if you know anybody up in that
friend
area.
of ours.
Send them up there. Please come to the stage. Lisa Corrao.
Lisa!
I gave you no credits. 0 credits. I gave you no credits. She's a comedian.
Hey.
Very funny.
You guys
That was
might
really
recognize Lisa as the official spokesperson of... Wait, what was it called? The Flagler? Flea Market? Which flea market?
Oh, the festival flea
No.
market.
Festival Flea Market.
I don't do those anymore,
Festival
though.
Flea Market. She was the one in the commercials during the Kendall Toyota late night show.
Yeah.
Basically. And she'd be like, there's so many deals at Festival Flea Market.
And my life has been downhill since I'm not doing those anymore.
Well, you had that short run as Kathy Catheter. And
I did.
she was...
She was a catheter spokesman, too.
Yeah.
She has all the good gigs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so good at selling catheters.
Yeah.
It was a skill I had no idea that I would have. And I was amazing at it, truly.
Do you remember your line from that commercial?
There was a lot of lines. We did several of them, but there was a lot of pre-lubrication and
Fuck yeah. Love the pre-lube.
Oh yeah, they come pre-lubed. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you said it with like a smile.
Yeah, because I was excited about it.
Of course.
Like some old guys at home watching TV, and he's like, I gotta try these catheters.
Yeah, exactly. I
don't wanna
sold
go
a
wrong.
lot.
A face I can trust. In my catheter, I have to lube myself. Like,
What a shit life that is. If I have to have a catheter, I'm gonna kill myself. There's no way. I don't care if it's pre-lubed.
Not if you use the pre-lubed.
Huh? No, I don't care. I'm not gonna. I don't.
No, wait, if you get to that
I'm gonna
point,
just shove
give
something
me
on my
a
dick
call,
hole. Yeah.
and I'll hook you up. Okay.
What?
I
Oh,
won't
you saw the
literally
promo
hook you up,
code?
but
Okay.
I got the promo
I'll tell you
code.
what. I take it back. I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm just gonna piss my pants constantly.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
think that's
God.
a better thing.
I saw a woman do that.
I'm
the
sorry.
other
Does anyone
day.
use a catheter?
Sorry,
I'm
piss her
apologizing
pants?
if anybody.
Yes. I
Pretty
saw
good.
a woman wet herself, and
Yeah.
it wasn't like you'd feel bad for her. Like she was like proud to do it. It was insane.
She was like, if pissing your pants is
She
cool,
was
call me Miles
completely
Davis. Or whatever.
happy to do that. By the way, okay.
Wait,
first
a woman's catheter?
hang on.
Isn't that just like a funnel?
No, because you do not know
I've
women's
never had
anatomy
sex with
at
a
all.
woman. I don't know because I thought you would just attach a bowl down there, a bowl and a garden hose. That's all you need down
It's
there.
like, it looks like the oxygen mask
Yeah,
you breathe
yeah.
in, but it's
This is, by the way, the
we're
worst.
losing the E-Lake residents. Sir, come
Yeah.
back. We're almost done. It's the fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
I can't
You
believe
don't know
people
how
don't want to hear
basketball
the
works? We're in the home stretch.
This is cat.
All right.
We have
They're
more
like,
medical
Okay.
paraphernalia
All right.
to tell
Thank
you
you,
about.
guys.
First of
Thank
all, this because you introduced me as like a weird catheter flea market lady.
Sorry.
Hey, how do
But
they don't know we're not
honestly-
giving shit away at the end?
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Lisa's a very funny comedian who's accomplished a lot of things. We just
Not really.
We just like-
but those commercials were great.
just like those
Fuck
commercials.
yeah.
Listen, I was passionate about anything that I was selling, Dave. Listen, you still want to get into acting. That's what you got to. You got to love
Yeah.
what you're selling.
Speaking of selling,
Lisa, you ever thought about selling cars?
no, that's not what I was going to say.
I have.
Speaking of selling, we're selling something after the show. And
Oh.
it relates to Lisa. So
Are you selling Cadillacs
hold
after the show,
shirt
Dave?
up. Hold the shirt
Good
up.
segue.
We have a T-shirt that we're selling after the show. It says "I love tail" on it, and it looks like a little mermaid or merman thing on
That's
that.
a great shirt.
Now, fun thing about this is, and we're selling after. We'll be out there. Just come say hi to us, even if you don't. And we also have a poster, by the way, too. Before I get if you. I don't know what's happened on that poster, by the way. I didn't know I had a chain in a manatee's mouth until last night. Keep holding up, though. And then what's that? You have abs and I just have fat rolls? What the fuck is that? I've seen your belly the last 2 days. You don't have fucking abs.
Well, let me tell you what happened. Is that I told you I wanted to do a tour poster, and you
Yeah.
talked me out of it and said you didn't want to do one. So I went and hired the artist to do it, and you weren't there to give input. I was. So
Yeah.
maybe next time go along with my ideas, and I won't do them on my own.
That's fine, but I'm on some S&M thing with this manatee here. I'm side sat on a fucking manatee with a chain in its mouth.
I look good.
Anyways.
Does the manatee have a ball gag in his
Yeah.
mouth?
It's like the fucking thing in Pulp Fiction.
The manatee even has shame on his face.
It's illegal. It's illegal what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you buy a T-shirt, we'll throw in a poster. We'll sign it for you. And if you want just a poster, just give us whatever you think it's worth, and we'll sign it for you. The T-shirts Lisa's daughter designed for us.
Yes,
right?
she did.
Now, I love tail.
She's
I
not
love.
like a little kid though. She's an adult.
I know, but I just want to say this.
We've known her since she's a little kid.
I love tail is, it's fun if you're in the merman, mermaid, something like that. Also, if you're a fisherman, it's cool, but it's definitely a sexual innuendo. We know that. I love tail. We got it. So I've known Lisa's daughter since she was probably, 6 or 7?
Yeah, little.
Yeah, and I've known her forever. She's 21 now.
Yeah.
She's an adult, but still, I did not feel comfortable calling her daughter and saying, we need to, I love tail. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. All right, this is what we want.
You get it? You get it, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Hey, remember when we used to hang out? All right, cool.
make the heart look like a real juicy
so-
ass.
Yeah.
One
So-
you want to sink your teeth into. You know what I'm talking about.
So I told
Hey,
Lisa.
you remember that time I dropped you off at summer camp and I was talking to your counselor?
So I told
Sorry,
Lisa.
got
I told
sidetracked.
Lisa. I said, can you please tell your daughter, like, We need this T-shirt. These are the parameters of what we need, and this is.
Yeah.
I want you to tell her I
And
love
you
Tail.
said I don't want to tell her.
Yeah, I don't want to say I love Tail to your daughter. I
Yeah.
can't. She's an
Yeah.
adult. I'm not doing it. And you did, and then I hit her up like a week later and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And she goes, "Hey, I just want to get some ideas of things you want. What do you want it to say again?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Just say Mermen. Just write Mermen.
I love Tail.
Because she was being professional and wanted to make sure.
I know, but it was just not. I wasn't comfortable with it at all.
Yeah.
But she did a great job. She's killer. If you ever need any graphic design, hit up Lisa and talk to her daughter. She's awesome.
Thank you.
Anyways, so we have that after the show, and then
I want to talk about cockroaches, though.
it's over. Lisa, it's fucking over. The cockroach segment's over.
Yeah.
What? You hate cockroaches?
Of course, everybody does.
No, but you pretend you don't. Yeah.
Who's like, cockroaches are fucking awesome?
No. This is what I mean. Is she'll be like, she'll be. I've been around her with roaches. She'll be like, I'm not afraid of roaches at all. And then she starts. You could see her have an anxiety, panic attack. They're perfectly fine. Yeah, whatever. And then you just start breathing weird and whatever. Yeah, you're not.
I
I'm not saying
had
you love
one
them.
fly into my face
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
There we go.
Okay?
Roach talk. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, that's what I wanted too. Bring it back to Roach Talk. Okay, so I bought my dream car, which is just a convertible, okay? And I'm so excited about it that I want the top down all the time.
Yeah, you do.
Okay? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Tail, bro.
So
Tell your daughter.
Oh, my daughter was with me during this. Okay, so
Tail.
had the top down, but it was cold. Okay, like Florida cold, but I wanted to like put the top down and crank the heat. You ever do that in a convertible? It's amazing. Oh, it feels so good because like the
Amen,
cold air
sister.
and the hot air swirl around you. It's amazing. Okay. All right, so the heat had not been turned on for a long time, and apparently
Here we go.
this big roach.
You've
Yeah.
been living in there? Yeah.
It was living in there, and
Like
it
a kid's
died
ear.
in there. Yeah,
Upside down. Died upside down. We all know that now. Everybody learned that here.
yeah.
Top heavy. Thank you.
I should really get some kind of driving award for not killing myself and my daughter and someone else on the road because
went into your mouth?
I cranked the heat full blast and just roach parts flew out into our faces, and I don't know how I didn't kill us drive into a wall, but I kept it together and I pulled off into a Waffle House parking lot, and we just freaked out for a while and cried.
Yeah, you know your problem was those weren't pre-lubed.
They weren't pre-lubed.
Pre-lube goes right through the hair, no problem. Fucking
Oh,
slick
you
it
gotta
back.
pre-lube them. They're just creepy. I know they can't hurt you, but
So Lisa, you're gonna help us do. We have a thing that we do occasionally every episode when we. Not every so often, every third or fourth episode, and that's how we close out our episodes. We have a phone number, 347 Mervert, if you ever want to call it. If you don't know what a Mervert is, it's someone, you get it. Somebody that's in the, you got it. I think you got it. It's self-explanatory.
yeah, I think there's a Mervert right here. That's a Mervert on the
Hey,
poster.
don't touch my
Manatee
fat rolls.
Mervert.
Yeah.
And you can call, you can leave a text message, or you can call in and leave a voicemail. And so we're gonna, we have those, Louise, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that. You can help us. We usually ask for questions, and so we'll answer them. So you can participate in that too as well. So,
Okay.
yeah. What do we got first?
All right, here we go.
Who's this?
Oh,
New caller.
New caller.
Caller.
First time.
I want to know. Now, I know Dave likes to eat a lot, and your sidekick there, he looks like he likes to eat a lot. I got a
Wait,
real
well,
question
pause
for
this
you.
a second. Is this fucking real? Is this?
It just sounds like Dave.
It's fucking. It sounds like Dave called in.
Wait,
like,
you
"Yeah,
think,
you're
you
both
think if I
concerned."
called in, I would just open with, I look like I need to eat a lot? Like, I like to eat a lot? I'd call in and be like, Dave's fucking handsome. Like, you know?
We got good fans.
I think I know who this is, actually.
And your sidekick, fucking piece of shit. Why did we even do this segment? I don't even know. Okay, keep going.
Have you vetted these, Luis, or are you just firing fucking hot?
I did listen to them, and I almost wanted to warn Forrest, but it's like,
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
all men-
No, you're
all
like
men-
Brett Favre just fucking slinging Hail Marys over here?
I almost wanted to, but we've only spent every minute together for the last 3 days. But cool. Thanks for not warning me. All right. Go ahead. Keep going.
If you had the chance to eat anything in the world, say you went to Thailand and someone had human meat, for example. Human meat. $200 a plate, would you do it?
Wait.
Eat it if
Wait.
you could? I really want to know.
Okay.
If you had the
All right,
opportunity
is that
to
it?
eat like
Why Thailand? Has he never
That's
been to
weirdly
Thailand?
specific.
It's like the best food in the fucking world, Thailand. And you think that's where you eat human meat?
Yeah. $200.
yeah, or Hialeah, you could go there and get like
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I would not eat human just for the experience.
Yeah.
I
But-
would have no problem eating human for survival.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a
By
second.
the way, I didn't get this fat eating human.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like I'm not like, wow, man. Okay, I'm glad it's on the menu. I've been looking for that.
If we're on an island together and the fish run out, you did. All right, like I'm
Yeah.
fucking barbecuing you at 225
Yeah.
low and slow.
Yeah, Lisa ate roach for free.
I ate roach for free.
I
Yeah.
would eat some really crazy shit though. I recognize that voice. That's actually a barbecue dude I know. That's my buddy Mel from Dark Side of the Grill, and he actually has gotten to go to like Australia and a lot of other countries and cook. Like he just cooked a panther.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he cooked a panther over
That's
there.
not cool.
Or maybe it was a jaguar. It was something
Still not
like that.
cool.
Yeah.
What do you think? People are going to cheer
No,
for that?
no, they're okay with it. Over there.
Maybe
They're
it was
okay with
like
over
the
there.
last remaining fucking.
They're okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
aren't they
no.
in danger?
All right, next
it's
call.
fine.
We're going to the next
Okay.
call.
Here we go.
I want to know more about Caesar guy that was in one of your earlier podcasts.
About the what guy?
Will he be at your Miami show? I want to know more.
Yeah, guess who this is? It's fucking Seth right there. I can tell his voice. All right, we do a segment called
boy.
Call a Cuban sometimes because when we're trying to recount shit from Miami, we're like, I don't remember. And if it has anything to do with Cuba, we're like, let's call a Cuban. And we pick a friend of ours, a Cuban, and we like we were talking about Elion, and we're like, what the fuck happened again? What was that thing?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, let me tell you
exactly.
something.
All right,
Yeah.
fuck off. All right.
Yeah.
That's not what I call him.
Yeah. They never pick up, and then when one of them does, they won't fucking stop talking. All right,
so
that's what
we-
happens every time.
And so Dave called his friend. You called Caesar one day, right? Mm-mm. But what were you asking him? It was about the.
Well, I had Caesar O'Connor in my phone, and I called, and it was the wrong Caesar O'Connor. And I was like, where did I meet another Caesar O'Connor? And he's like, I don't know who you are, man. And I'm like, we're like really good friends. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm searching my brain. I'm like, are you okay? And then I looked at my contacts and I go, oh, I got two Caesar O'Connors. I don't know who the fuck that guy was, but he's but wait, what were you asking? Did I? What?
Is he gonna be here? I don't think he's gonna be here.
Caesar, are you here?
Caesar?
No. He's on a cruise. He's on a cruise. I'm cruising.
Somebody knows
bro.
him back there?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Bro, I'm on Norwegian, bro. That's my Caesar impression.
All right. Leave that for David Stebbins.
Yeah, all right.
Come on.
Sorry.
No one's gonna know what we're talking about on the podcast. Cool. All right. Next, how many
All
more
right.
do
Should
we
we
have?
just take? Should we take? Luis, is there good voicemails, or should we just take questions from the audience?
Yeah. You know what? Let's save the rest. Let's save the rest of the voicemails for the next
Yeah.
podcast, and we'll just we'll take a couple questions and we'll call it a night.
I'm still kind of curious. Like, I know, Dave, you do all the
Wait,
barbecuing.
Lisa, yes, you.
Okay. I want to rewind a little bit, just like we rewound with the roaches. But
Yeah.
like, how would you prepare human meat? He barbecues. Like, what would you do?
Wait, you said that. You said that like such a good catheter salesman.
Exactly.
He barbecues. Well, I will admit that I can't turn my brain off from thinking, not specifically humans, but like I took my kids to see Star Wars and they're like introducing all these new characters and fucking like they're riding and every like alien thing. I'm like, I would cook that at 225. Like,
See?
I would quarter that out and then I would. But most things you just cook them. So if it's like beef or tougher stuff, you cook it at a lower temperature for
Yes,
longer.
that
If
I
it's
know,
something
yeah.
like chicken or lighter, you cook it at a higher temperature and you crisp up the skin and like that. So that's kind of the rule of thumb.
Do you know
for
how
whatever
bad
cook.
human would taste? By the way,
Human.
Like
No,
when you
it depends how you prepare
No,
it.
no. 'Cause
Human,
when-
you'd have to either go low and slow, or you'd have to
no,
do jerky.
No, you guys are wrong. When you eat an animal. When you eat an animal, they're always like, "Oh, it tastes good because it eats this." You know, if a certain type of fish eats like crab, and so like this fish tastes good, and if you feed a chicken a certain, it tastes like this. Humans, we eat fucking disgusting, whatever our meat would taste like after like McDonald's
Snickers.
and
Yeah,
fucking
that's great. That sounds
cocaine
amazing.
and fucking IPAs. I don't care how you would cook that; it would be.
You're just
fucking
making
gross.
it sound better and better.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Deep fry it.
My body's been tenderized by IPAs for years. Just dip it in a little mustard curry sauce from Chicken Kitchen.
All right, we'll take a couple
right.
more questions.
All right.
Anybody got? Well,
right.
Identify yourself.
Excited person.
Oh, boy. God.
Next.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, Willie.
Hey, no, fuck that shit. Why didn't you call?
Wait, how did you get a
Why
fucking
did you guys call this Cuban?
Did you bring your own fucking microphone?
I did.
That's how loud Cubans are.
Why did you
Cubans are
guys-
human microphones.
I haven't asked my question, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Calma todo nebio.
Okay.
Why didn't you guys call this Cuban? I could have told you what a cafecito was.
Oh, yeah. We had
Yeah, that was your
That was
question?
our first call of Cuban. It's, we were trying to.
Yeah. Oh.
We couldn't remember the
Messed
name.
up.
By the way, you're
Cafecitos.
Cuban?
Fuck you, dumb motherfucker. I'm a Marielito, bro. We're different.
All right.
I heard
What?
a grunt, bro. Like, oh.
I don't. Well,
We'll
yeah.
call you next
Fuck.
time, Willie,
Yeah.
I promise. But that question sucked.
Yeah, I think your answer.
You didn't answer the question. Why didn't you call me?
I think
we don't
you're
like
answering
you.
it for everybody right now, Willie Q.
I would just want to say one thing about Willie Q. Before the show, he kept trying to make me touch a bump on his leg, and he's like, "What do you think this is? You think this is an ant bite? You think this is a spider bite?" He's like, "Touch it, touch it, touch it." And I'm like,
Was he
"No,
doing-
I'm not
was-
touching it. I
was it-
didn't touch it."
Lisa, why don't you call me? Touch the bump.
Yeah, it's closer. I know it's going to feel like my dick, but it's not my dick. It's an ant bite. I swear.
Yeah.
Well, it was
swear,
on his
dude.
calf. It was on his calf.
I'm Willie Q.
It
That's
wasn't.
my
It wasn't
impression of you.
inappropriate. Well, it was inappropriate, but it wasn't sexual.
No, that's how they get you. They show you the calf, and when you reach to touch it, they go, "Oh."
Yeah, he's like higher, higher, higher.
We love you, Willie Q. Willie Q is
love
a
Willie Q.
local comic that we know forever.
We've
No.
known Willie.
Come on.
Hey, he's listened from episode 1 and been proud. He
yeah.
texted, said
Keep
we're
listening,
proud
please.
of you. And that, you're a
Fuck yeah, bro.
Definitely
you're a
mervert.
mervert in so many ways, Willie Q. We appreciate
Yeah.
you.
All right, we'll do one more.
All right, I'll
Anybody?
touch your bump.
All right, up front. Hey, I
Hey,
recognize
look
this
at
guy.
Hey.
Hey.
Identify yourself.
Yeah.
My name's Paul.
All right, Paul, turn around so they can see the homage.
It's
Yeah,
Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Pee Wee Herman.
Paul,
R.I.P.
longtime Florida comedy supporter and friend.
Yes,
Paul
I've known
Dagopian.
Paul forever. Met him
Anyway,
here.
my question is for Forrest.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You once sold a shirt that said "Eat Babies."
Yeah.
Did you keep selling it, or did you stop selling it once the QAnon people went after you?
Oh.
All right, let me tell you how I would prepare a baby in a smoker. All right, like,
Billy had one. Billy says he has a shirt.
Yeah.
I was moving recently, Paul, and I found a bag with like 12 shirts in it. So if you're interested in one, I'll send one to your reg. It says "Eat Babies." It's a
you
collector's
sold the
item.
fuck out of those shirts, right?
I made a lot of money.
lot of money,
Allegedly, government doesn't know a lot about it. According to the government, I sold $40 worth. Maybe a little bit more than that.
But did Willie QAnon go after you?
Oh, Willie QAnon, yeah. Fucking. Has no one ever called you that?
I guessed his password.
Willie Q. Well, shut. Jeez. All right.
Stop talking, Willie.
I'll get you one, Paul. I still got him. I'll get you one. I think if not anyone's got any others, I think we'll just wrap it up. Thank you.
Do you guys? Oh yeah, were you saying?
No, I think we're good.
good?
I think we're good.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight to our first live
Hey,
podcast.
appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to the podcast.
The
Oh wait, we're
Mermen.
supposed to do that in the two.
Yeah.
2 minutes left.
Oh yeah.
Minutos.
There you go.
Please listen to the podcast, guys. Subscribe to it. Even if you don't listen to it, it helps us out. Comment. And you could also watch it when you're at work and not doing your job. You can go to Comedy Records YouTube and watch it. And you can please, if you don't already, follow us on social media. I'm Dave W. Comedy on Instagram and everything. Forrest is at Forrest Shaw. And
We'll be out there with t-shirts and posters.
Yeah.
Come say hi to us out there.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun doing this. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
For they are the mermen.